All right, welcome sixth graders. So this is AG3, or also in your book as it's known as the conflict in the Greek world. So up until this time, there's been a lot of fighting between, or there will be a lot of fighting between the Greeks and the Persians, mainly because one of the Greek settlements in Turkey, modern-day Turkey, Ionia, was attacked and conquered by the Persians, and they didn't really like that. So they decided to attack the Persians. The Persians weren't very happy with this, so they decided to retaliate. They landed near Marathon, which is just north, which is about 26.1 miles away from Athens, and that's where we get the term marathon from. So here the Persians land. The Greeks ask for help in fighting the Persians, but they don't get it, so they have to fight them themselves. And as we know, Greeks really aren't that skilled of warriors. They focus more of their time on the arts and things of that nature. So this was a huge victory for Athens and for the Greek world as well, because they were able to defeat the Persians, and the Persians were known as these ruthless fighters. Okay, so because of this and because of this threat, the Greek city-states do finally decide to unite against Persia, and we create this Athenian League, or this league where all of these city-states come together and kind of put forth money and resources so that there is like one Greek army. All right, again, they have various views within their city-states of how things should be handled, but remember, they still speak the same language, and they still have the same gods and goddesses, so there is still a common culture between them. And so that's kind of what unites them in this. All right, and so then the second part of our lesson deals with Athenian democracy. And so under the rule of Pericles, he really helps the economy thrive again, and the government becomes more democratic, meaning more people are able to join and fight, not fight, but able to vote and things. And a lot of this is because the council is now selected by a lottery type of a system. It's not direct as it had been before, where people had to own land and stuff like that. Is shown here. It's more about anybody could take part in it. Now we start to see this jury system come about, in which people are now able to have more rights and stuff than they were before. And so it says here, citizens can ostracize public figures considered a threat to the democracy. So before, and in some countries as well today, especially in Russia, you're not allowed to publicly call out people who are in rule and charge and things like that. In Russia, that can get you thrown in prison, things of that way. Here, they're saying that, no, if you feel that somebody's not doing something well, you can call them out on it. Kind of like you see in the news when people are critical of President Obama, or people are critical of senators or the Congress or things of that nature. That is a rule, a right that we have, that we're able to do that. That wasn't necessarily the case. You couldn't do that in an oligarchy. You couldn't do that in a monarchy. You can't do that in the aristocracy. So that's a big change. All right, and then our last one. So just to kind of summarize this here. So basically what this means, the Athenian democracy is evolving, is changing over time. It is allowing more people to be part of the democracy, to be part of the decisions that are made for Athens. It's giving more people more freedoms, more rights. It's also making rules and laws more strict, so that everybody's held to the same types of laws, instead of they're trying to be like different laws, or different laws for the rich, different laws for the poor types of situations. All right. And then our last one here is the Peloponnesian War. Okay, and what happens with the Greek democracy is that the Greeks kind of consider them, they're kind of getting snubby in a way, and that they feel that they're better than everybody else in the Greek peninsula, which isn't necessarily the case. Depending on how you look at the history, you can argue it one way or the other. So a lot of people outside of Athens resent this Athenian domination. The Athenians are the ones who are overtaking these leagues and running them, and instead of allowing other groups, other city-states to have as much of a say in the way these decisions are being made. So it's basically splits into different rival camps. You have the camp that agrees with the Athenians, and you have the camps that kind of that agree with the rule of the oligarchy and things of that nature. So the people who obviously don't agree with Athens form this league called the Peloponnesian League. And if you can remember from our map, or the map of Greece, Peloponnesia is the peninsula that's off to the west of where Athens is. It's where Sparta is located. And so because of this, and one of the things that Peloponnesia has that a lot of Greece doesn't have is flat farmable land. So this is very highly sought after land. So this pretty much engulfs all of Greece, the Greek world, and this war lasts for 27 years. And so a lot of it has to do with basically fighting between Athens and Sparta. All right. So when it breaks out, it pretty much swarms everybody who's either alleged to Athens or alleged to Sparta. And what ends up happening is the Spartans go to the Persians and ask them for help in defeating Athens, because Sparta is a land-based army. Sparta is a land-based army. Athens is a naval power. Sparta doesn't have a navy, so they go and seek the Persians' help with this. And they also, because of this, the Persians are able to kind of hold a blockade in Athens and cut off food supply from the sea. And so a famine comes about because of this as well. But eventually, the Spartans, with the help of the Persians, ends the Athenian domination of the Greek world, and really changes the tides of who is in control of the Greek world and who isn't. All right. So if you have any questions, bring them to class. Otherwise, we'll answer a few questions and get more into how the Peloponnesian War and Persian Wars really shaped Greek culture.